Sponsored by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. So we may be seeing a lot of Jalen Hurts in 2020, even with a healthy Carson Wentz. According to an NFL Network report, Hurts will be on the field for the Eagles this upcoming season and might even do so in a straight running back role. So, Shannon, do you have a problem with this?
Yes, I do, Skip. I really don't understand what they're thinking. I don't like the pick for them. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts shouldn't have been a second-round pick because I believe he played well enough and he's shown an ability to throw the football, Skip, that he can help a team and eventually he can be a starting quarterback in this league. But, Skip, Jalen Hurts is a good running quarterback. He's not a running back. He's not Taysom Hill. And everybody's like, you can use it. Skip, Taysom Hill, not only does he throw the ball, he run patterns. They throw him screens. They throw him the ball down the field. That's not what Jalen Hurts is. You take a quarterback. You didn't do that with Pat Mahomes. You don't do that with these other quarterbacks. That's not what he is. You're trying to make him out of a gadget. You're trying to make him something that he's not. Skip, he's not a running back. He's a quarterback. Skip, if you want to bring him on the field and you want to go wildcat in third and short, if you want to go wildcat fourth and short, if you want to go a change of pace or something like that, but to think that this guy's a running back, you're just going to hand him the ball? That makes no sense, which tells me, look, I know that they said we called Carson and we told him we're going to be yada. Listen, the more I hear them explain what they're going to do with him, the more ridiculous this pick sounds for them. I don't get what they're going to try to do with him, but if you got him to play quarterback, develop him as a quarterback without using all these gadgets.
On this one, I am so with you. You know I don't like the Eagles to start with, and now I like them even less because it's degrading and it's insulting to try to use Jalen Hurts in this role. It reminds me of the teams who told Lamar Jackson at the Combine, yeah, we'd consider you if you'd want to play receiver. No, he said, I'm a quarterback. And all he did last year was win the MVP of this league as a quarterback. Jalen Hurts is a quarterback, not a running back, not a receiver, not anything but a leader of the football team. So Jalen Hurts does not have the quickness or the speed of Lamar Jackson, not the foot quickness or the straight line speed. He ran 4.5, which actually surprised me. I was sort of pleasantly surprised he could run 4.5. But he goes about 220. He is a weight room warrior. He was always pound for pound the strongest man in his college weight room at Alabama and Oklahoma. And he will make you miss or he will run through you on key downs. But that's off read options, that's off rollouts, that's off extemporaneous plays in which he is the quarterback with the ball in his hands to start the play. A lot of it's off script. But once he gets on a roll, he's hard to stop because he is a momentum playmaker who, if he makes 1 6-yard gain for a first down on 3rd and 5, then the next couple of plays, he'll make another play, and then he'll make another play, and he'll make another play. If you start trying to use him as some gadget guy, put him in on 3rd and 1 at tailback just to hand him the ball and say, get us a yard, he will lose his momentum. He might lose a little bit of his way where he's like, who am I? I want to be the leader of this team. The gadget guy can't be the leader of the team. He's not Taysom Hill. He's Jalen Hurts. No. And they think they're going to reinvent a Taysom Hill in their offense because Doug Peterson has a huge ego. He wrote a book off his Super Bowl victory, the Philly special, called, what was it? Fearless. I'm fearless. Well, the next year he didn't look so fearless to me. But the point is, he's got a big ego to the point that he's going to say, watch what we can do with Jalen Hurts. That's not fair to Jalen Hurts, and it's not fair, as you pointed out, to Carson Wentz. And they said, Doug Peterson said, well, we called Carson right before we made the pick, and we said, and I'm going to paraphrase this, you're the face of the franchise. You're our starting quarterback, but we value quarterbacks, plural. We want to have several quarterbacks on the roster that we can either develop or utilize in other ways. Not fair to Carson, not fair to Jalen, and it's all about your ego and not their growth. You're going to stunt the growth of both quarterbacks if you try to mix and match them. So again, Shannon, to me, this is so insulting to Jalen Hurts because they're basically telling him, we don't really think you're a starting quarterback. We think we can utilize you in little ways to capitalize on the fact that you scored 20 rushing titles at Oklahoma. Stop it. You know, I told you going in, Jalen Hurts, I told you before the draft, is a starting quarterback in this league, and he's good enough on leadership and willpower and playmaking to lead a team to the playoffs. That's good enough for me, but he's not going to get that opportunity in the situation into which he was forced via the draft pick.
Skip, you're absolutely right. When I look at Taysom Hill, Skip, he had 6 pass attempts, 27 rush attempts, and caught 19 passes. Skip, if you look at the way the Ravens developed Lamar Jackson, they had packages that they would bring him in a series, and he would run those packages. Skip, he wasn't a running back. They didn't line him up at wide receiver and try to throw him the ball or try to run screens with him. They developed him as a quarterback. That's what you should do with Jalen Hurts. You took him as a quarterback, develop him as a quarterback. Skip, defenses hit differently on a running back than they do a quarterback because the quarterback still has the potential to run the football. When they hand the ball to a running back, this is why sometimes running back can throw touchdown passes off the run because they're not expecting it. That's why Walter Payton was so good at it, Skip. When they hand the ball to Walter Payton, you're thinking he's going to run. Well, he touched the ball, and all of a sudden he pulls up and he throws a touchdown. Well, when you hand that ball up to Jalen Hurts, they're not thinking anything. They're going to tee off, and they're looking to do some damage. And you're putting him in a situation. Develop him as a quarterback. And if I'm Carson Wentz, Skip, and a lot of times I equate things to relationships because I think everybody at some point in time has been involved in a relationship. And I look at the quarterback, especially one like Carson Wentz, to an organization or to Doug Peterson as a marriage. Okay, you know what we did? You look at what we've done. We had this $250,000 wedding. I got you a $750,000 ring, but you know I'm gonna be looking at women, because you know I like women, and so I'm all about, maybe I find a woman down the road. Who you think is gonna be accepting of that, Skip? Because that's basically what they told Carson Wentz. Yes, we gave up a lot to get you. Yes, we gave you the big deal. But we still looking at quarterback now. Hey, I got my eye on one. Huh? And I know Carson's like, hey, guys, you got to do what you got to do. But come on, Skip. At some point in time, look, you done ordered. Turn the menu back to the way to go on. You know, those saying, Skip, hey, just because I don't order don't mean I can't read the menu. At some point in time, the dinner's done come, Jenny. You can't keep reading the menu. Once the dinner's served, get the menu back. Now, you might want to look at the drink menu one last time, but don't be looking at the entree and appetizer menu. And that's what the Eagles are doing. Carson Wentz, you need to go up there and cause a ruckus. Hey, I would go up there and say, I understand we're under quarantine, but hey, Dougie P, Hyatt Roseman, I need to see y'all ASAP.
I am so with you on that, but I'm going to conclude with one point that I stand by. I believe if they actually gave Jalen Hurts a shot to win the starting job, I believe in him so much. I believe he would be more successful long-term than Carson Wentz will be as the Eagles quarterback. I'm going so far as to say that's how good he will be in this league if he gets the chance. But Carson Wentz has already proclaimed the face of the franchise and the starting quarterback, and they gave him his money. They're committed to him cap-wise, so it's not realistic for me to say, go beat him out, because I don't think they're going to allow him the opportunity to beat out Carson Wentz, and I don't think they should give him the opportunity to do that. So my point is, again, they're going to question Carson Wentz's durability. So maybe by default, by injury, Jalen gets the shot. And then I think he would seize that opportunity. But I don't even want to talk about it because I always tell you, Shannon, I do not wish injury upon anybody. If I got some wood to knock on, I'm going to knock on this wood for Carson Wentz's sake. I know he's been hurt. I know he had the concussion shortly into the playoff game, which was his first one against Seattle. But still, he was healthy for 16 games last year, and I'm not going to make that part of this equation going forward.
Skip, I don't believe that Jalen Hurts could beat out Carson Wentz for the job. But if you want to put the job up, it's hard for me to believe, Skip, that a gadget guy, and that's what seems to me that what they're going to use Jalen Hurts as in his rookie year, as a gadget guy, can beat a guy that's he's getting better, but a guy that's gone to Pro Bowls and that was the front runner for the MVP until he got hurt. Develop him as a quarterback. Don't use him as gadget. Develop him as a quarterback. If that's what you want to do, develop him like they did Baltimore, because you believe, Skip, that he has the potential to be something like Lamar Jackson. Skip, look how they developed Lamar Jackson. They put a package in a series or two, he would run that every game. But they weren't throwing him the ball. They wasn't running, here, get a line up in the eye, we're going to hand you the football. That's not what they did. They developed him as a quarterback, and he progressed, and he became unanimous MVP.
All right, guys, I want to talk about a different quarterback situation. Is Jerry Jones just a bit too confident that Dak will not hold out this season? That's next on Undisputed.